My first reaction when hearing that my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, drafted Rachaad White was, what are we doing? We're drafting a running back in round 3, not just drafting one, but kind of reaching on one. Seems like he's not someone, Rachaad White just isn't a guy who a lot of people had going particularly too high. So now we're going back and we're going to kind of reach on a guy like this. Not to say that this was like an insane reach or anything, but 124th on PFF's big board. We're reaching by about 30 picks. But the more I thought about it, the more this does make sense. Because again, part of me is thinking, we have Leonard Fournette. We just paid him. Why are we also drafting a running back? The logic behind it, I do get, which is he's a good pass catcher. This feels very much like this could be a James White type guy. I think that's kind of what Brady is probably going to use him for, is to be that James White type player who can just be someone who can catch out of the backfield. He's a really good receiver. His actual, I did watch a decent amount of him. I've also read up a decent amount on him. He's not someone who I've studied a ton compared to some other guys, but from what I saw from him, it seems like he oftentimes very much tries to get, a home run on every play, which is something that, there's some value in, but the reality is, I just don't think that he's even going to be a guy who they're going to try to use as a running back, like a pure running back. Jason Light's history on running backs isn't exactly great. Keyshawn Vaughn was a third rounder that people were high on and didn't really work out. Ronald Jones did not work out largely due to not being able to block or receive. White, as a guy who can simply just do one role and be solid at that role, there's reason to be optimistic, as he could be, again, that James White type of guy. And this is where, philosophy comes in, of team building philosophy. If you're a good team, do you take someone who's objectively a more valuable player? There are still valuable players on the board. Or do you go after someone like Rachaad White, who, okay, in a vacuum, he might not have as much value, but he will probably help the Tampa Bay Buccaneers more than, most of the people, if not all of the people, other than him in this draft class. So that's the argument. And quite frankly, Brady in Tampa Bay hasn't really had a great receiving back. Giovanni Bernard, we've tried that, but he's been banged up. Ronald Jones and Fournette, Fournette can catch stuff out of the backfield a little bit. He can run check down routes, but that's pretty much it. Getting a potentially good, route running halfback, there is reason to be excited there. So, typically don't love halfbacks on day 1 or 2, especially one that, I don't think is a star by any means, but there's stuff to like about it. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.